You used to wrestle, right?
Yeah, I did, but I never lost.
Well, I don't know if that guy was losing.
He looked like he was winning.
He was not
I
trying.
couldn't really see from here, but he definitely looked like he was like a little content.
I mean, how could you not be? Is probably nice. He was just sitting there. He was just sitting there, though. That's the one thing for sure. He was genuinely just not wrestling anymore. He was
definitely letting the wipe happen. He's getting wiped on.
Yeah, he didn't really seem like it was a problem. Did that ever happen to you, though? Did you ever notice like a bunch of nuts in your face ever?
I don't think so. I don't remember ever like being in that like 69 position. You know, like usually if I was getting pinned, it was just like my butt. I was getting...
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I've never played that sport. I only wrestled with my uncles. That was so I don't know. I think whoever is doing wrestling like that, they didn't need to make them wear skin tight. They literally
it's really unnecessary.
They literally don't need to make them do that. They should all be wearing like those old like and one basketball shorts that go down to like your ankles.
You know what they should have is actually like, I feel like you should be able to be like loose around, kind of like joggers, but shorts. So they're kind of like cuffed around your thigh,
sure,
but loose around your groin.
I mean, but do you, I understand the want to have your junk not moving around.
Yeah.
Because you want it to be
true,
predictable.
but just wear tight underwear.
To be where it is. Yeah. Just wear a jockstrap or something, you know?
Tight underwear, loose, unitard, one of them.
Yeah, one of those. I think
unitard.
I think that's the way to go. I definitely think that guy stopped wrestling. I don't know if it was shock or if it was just...
That guy had some balls on him.
They were so apparent, dude. It was like a dog when you see a dog with their balls and you're just kind of like, whoa. Like that.
There are some dogs.
You're just like, Jesus, dude.
You're like, you're making me uncomfortable.
Yeah, what are you doing, dude? This
Put it away. Put some pants on.
It's a park here, yeah. That guy definitely was... Do you think he was feeling it? Do you think he was like, it's definitely...
Yeah, was he more concerned with the arm bar or the nuts on his face?
I literally think I would have been like, please stop. Like it's
yeah, tap.
Yeah, it's like he's like, it wasn't hurting. It was just,
this smells.
This is the worst moment of my
life. This is a stinky moment.
Yeah, it's definitely stinky too because those things can't smell good. The nuts or the
yeah, that's probably like round 3 of the match too. He's got 2 rounds of stank on his nuts.
Yeah, man, that's tough. That's how a loser, that's what a loser feels like. I feel like you're like, I'm a loser. you get those dragged across and you're like, I don't need him to pin me, you know? A loss is a loss, yeah. So what was wrestling like for you, man?
I hated it, man. It was a lot of wrestling, a lot of running, a lot of ringworm.
Ringworm, huh?
Yeah.
You had a ringworm?
Yeah.
Do you have a ringworm right now?
Maybe.
That's for you to know,
yeah.
for you to find out.
Everybody on that team had a ringworm. I feel like it was like an epidemic, a localized epidemic.
How'd that happen?
One guy gets it and then the next guy gets it.
Is it from rubbing up on?
Yeah.
I guess I don't know
rolling
how.
Around on like a sweaty mat with a bunch of other ringworms.
It's kind of funny that they're like, okay, here's a sport. Your odds of getting like a skin like virus or infection's kind of high.
Yeah,
they're like,
like 100%.
Okay, but what else do we do? And they're like, you're also
gonna like
and then like nuts.
Put nuts in your face. You're gonna get into doggy style to start.
It's like it beats golf.
There's a lot of good things about it.
Like what?
Those things.
Oh, those 2 things.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was.
But dude, the running was insane. People running with like trash bags, super unhealthy. I don't recommend it.
Super unhealthy running with trash bags. Yeah, because you got to drop all that water weight.
You're just like getting rid of all water weight. People are just like you could like see their like.
Do you still run if you're like trying to gain weight? Like if you're trying to go up a weight class? Like
I don't think that's ever really a thing.
What? So you just infinitely lose
people
weight
are always,
forever?
like you'd rather be in the weight class below. You're never like, let me go up in weight. Because then you're the weakest. Because then it's like if you're in that like 180 range, if you're like just making you're going to be against people that are like comfortably.
I guess that makes sense, but why can't you just be a better wrestler? What about that?
Be a better wrestler to weaker people. You never want to go up in wrestling.
It sounds like a bunch of lazy babies who don't want to try to be the best. This is what it sounds like to me. It sounds like a bunch of people who are like, oh, I can't be the best at this. Like, imagine if like LeBron James is like, yeah, I could try to be the best basketball player in the NBA, or I could be the best player in like junior college. Like,
go be the best in the world. You want the most money in that case. You're like, the NBA is where the money's at.
You were wrestling in high school. You were
exactly.
No
so there's no money. That's why I'm trying to go down.
I see. I'm sorry. I thought you were saying like for wrestling.
I got nothing to prove.
I thought you were saying for wrestling, you were like, yeah, okay.
There's money at 180, baby.
Yeah, you're right. There's no. It's all the same. It's you're winning and losing for free everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually did like one official match, and I just got my ass kicked. But my coach was like, "You have promise."
So you didn't get your ass kicked then?
I think it was because I held myself. Like, I didn't really get my ass kicked. I just lost because.
Loser.
Time went by and I didn't do anything cool.
You didn't do anything cool? That's what they're judging wrestling on. He's like, holy shit.
They're like, you didn't do any spins.
Whoa. Yeah, whoa. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Did you ever do any like crazy diets or anything? Like to try to go down in weight or anything? That's
Dude, people, I remember them telling me like to lose weight, like you do everything, like the trash bags. They're like, I'm spitting all day, like spitting. Just
spit? Oh, just get rid of water,
spitting,
huh?
I'm coming.
I didn't know about that. You spitting, you're coming all day?
You're spitting and you're coming. You're getting rid of everything.
And sitting in a trash bag, dude.
In a trash bag. You're in a trash bag, spitting and coming.
It's like one of those those ponchos when it rains, they just put you in the trash bag. We're like, we're gonna be spitting and coming a lot. So
you're really like you're wearing like a sweatsuit with a trash bag.
Jesus Christ,
it's crazy in Florida.
Oh my God. That's crazy, man. It sounds miserable. I mean, running was always the worst part of any moment of my life. There was never a point where I was like, you know what would be cool right now? Is if I was running a lot more.
Yeah, people who like to run.
Psychopaths, right?
Crazy.
What are you doing? Because like people talk about a runner's high like it's like they're doing heroin. Yeah. It's like you did a 5K. Like you don't know the sweet release of black tar heroin because you ran a 5K, dude. Like don't come at me with that same level of energy. You're just definitely wrong. Yeah. You know, that's what we're here about at Channel One. If you take care of your body, you're a piece of shit. If you do black tar heroin and you want to know what a real high is like, we endorse that of you guys. Write us in the what is it? channelonefun. Tell us about your experience on black tar heroin. If you're trying to write in about running, fucking save it. I'm not interested. It's not interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of addiction, no alcohol today.
Yeah, man. Speaking of you being addicted to alcohol and only you in this
only me.
Yeah, we're 4 days.
I can't go a Thursday without drinking.
As you said, you're 4 days off the wagon, which is the wrong way to be. But congrats, I guess.
Who wants to be on a wagon?
Yeah, I'm gonna. You know,
a wagon sounds like that's where the alcohol is. I'm trying to be off the wagon.
We did have a fun experience once. We went down to a bar, and I learned that this guy, we were just talking to him at the bar. He was a bartender. He's like, hey, how's it going? I said, great, man. How are you? He goes, good. I got great news. We're like, awesome, man. What's it going to be? Probably something casual and fun and normal. And he goes, I'm 10 days sober. And I was like, oh, no way, dude. Congratulations. That is pretty cool. And he's like, yeah, cocaine. And he pulls out his chip.
Yeah.
And it kind of didn't come across as him telling us he's 10 days sober. It came across as, hey, man, I'm 10 days sober. Do you guys do cocaine? Like, it didn't come across as like, be proud of me. It's like, I'm looking for cocaine.
He's like, I did it. I did. My goal was 10 days.
Yeah, he was like, I haven't, whatever. And he also was carrying around a poker chip. I don't know how the chips work, for addiction.
Yeah, but it seems interesting to have a 10-day chip.
A 10-day chip doesn't seem like enough time to have a chip.
Yeah, it seems like
a week chip. I can understand. Like, that's a good milestone. Like if you're heavy in the hand of the bottle, then a week without the sauce is probably a pretty big deal. But 10 days just seems like an odd. I mean, I guess it is a round number, but still a week and a Wednesday. I guess. Who cares?
I don't know. Yeah, if 10 days go by, then you've definitely gone through a weekend.
I actually disagree with all my statements. Every day when you're sober, you deserve a chip because that shit's hard, and that's not me being an addict.
I think if you make it through a weekend, like a legitimate weekend without drinking, then you deserve to celebrate. With a drink.
I mean, it's not like that's hard, but I mean, I think if you're like, but I think if you're in the hands,
if you make it through a weekend without drinking, you deserve to pour yourself a nice
strong drink, nice stiff drink. Yeah. No, but in all seriousness, if you're in that heavy, if you're like an addict, and you go a weekend without it, I bet it's a huge deal, man. I think we take it for granted how it's like we drink a lot casually, but we know we could just kind of be like a month, fine, two, you know what, like you could just stop drinking like tomorrow,
if I could.
even, you know, but it's like one of those, well, if you need to talk.
Yeah. I mean, I like to say that I could do a month, but man, it's Thanksgiving this month, you know?
It is literally, dude, got to be the hardest thing in the world to not drink your first big drinking holiday. Has to be crazy. Imagine starting to drink in March.
Starting to drink in March.
And then it's just St. Patrick's Day. You're like,
starting to drink or starting to not?
Stopping to drink. Sorry,
to drink.
Freudian slip. Yeah, it's just, you just stop drinking in March.
That's my birthday too.
Yeah, dude, you're fucked. March, you're drinking every year for the rest of your life. It's like, I mean, I guess nobody really cares about, who cares about St. Patrick's Day?
Who cares about my birthday?
I care about your birthday, man.
Thank you.
I just learned it this year.
Yeah.
I thought it was the 19th of March for a long time, for a couple years. Even on days when I've gone to your birthday party on that day, still like, thought it was a different day. I was like, must be the 19th. Yeah. Must be because it's a Thursday. They don't want to celebrate on a Sunday. Yeah. But that's, you know, good for, we're just joking. Don't do heroin. But, you know, if you do, we're also proud of you.
Yeah.
I have an interesting story for you. Do you ever do you eat a lot of cereals?
Currently, no. I'd never eat cereal.
Just historically over your life, have you eaten
As a
cereal?
child, I've eaten a lot of cereal.
What are some of your favorite cereals?
Well, my favorite of all time was the Waffle Crunch.
Okay.
That was discontinued. Maybe has been brought back recently, but not to my knowledge.
I don't know anything about that shit, man. I've heard that much.
I love a good Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Sure.
In college, I had a lot of what's that one that's like kind of healthy and it's got like little chunks in it?
Chunks of what?
I don't know. Shit.
Kicks?
No. What are they called?
Raisin Bran?
No. Doesn't matter.
I've suddenly forgot every cereal.
Yeah.
Anyway, man. So the reason why I bring this up is Kellogg must have been a thing in your life. Do you know about the founding of Kellogg? I've been reading about this. It is fascinating.
I do not.
You don't?
I do not.
Fantastic. I'm going to dive right in. There's two Kellogg brothers. I'm going to make up their names. One of them's William. One of them's John.
All right.
John Kellogg is a pretty well-established scientist. He has a lot of credibility and within the scientific community, but he does have one kind of blemish historically where he's like super pro-eugenics. Now, the other Kellogg, I already forgot his native name. I think it's Will. Mm-hmm. John and Will. So I got it right. Okay. So
Will and Grace.
So I do believe that Will had a very interesting twist on a very serious problem.
Oh.
Back in the early 1900s, late 1800s, him and a lot of folks really thought that J and your D, polishing the Pope. What do they call it?
Polishing
the what do they say? That's called polishing the something.
Polishing the knob.
I guess that could be it.
Choking the chicken.
Choking the
chicken.
Choking the something.
Choking the chicken.
Yeah. So if they thought that was a huge, big, bad, thumbs down sin, you know, this is big time sadness.
Yeah.
And over here, man. And so there's these. So he thought that the reason was due to spicy foods. So he's like,
the reason that people
are jerking their dingus
because they're eating spicy food.
Because they're eating too much. There's too much cayenne pepper, too many hot wings. He's like, we got to tone it down. So this guy apparently was a mega virgin. Like he married a woman who apparently he never consummated his marriage with. Apparently he went on his honeymoon. He wrote his dissertation on why masturbation is like a super like mega sin and you're terrible. And so he's anti-mast, not anti-mask. He's anti-masturbation. He's an
anti-masturbation and anti-sex.
And then his brother's pro-eugenics, so they were fucking all over it. And
at the risk of sounding dumb, what is eugenics?
That dude is definitely thinking there's a master race going on. That's the type of guy where he's like, there's a certain group. Okay. That we like. That's what he's saying. And his brother's like, okay, you got that thing going on. I got this whole other thing going on where people are jerking their dinguses because they got too much, Wingstop at their house. Mm-hmm. And so comes up with a new
Too much
food.
Frank's Red Hot.
Yeah, too much of that. And God's angry. That's why we've got all these storms. So he creates this new food called granola. Uh-huh. And he like chops it up because he's like, nobody's going to get a boner from this dull ass food.
Yeah.
And then he's like, how do I make this? And then he does it and people are still people are still Jing their D's. He's like, what the fuck? How do I make this even? He's not sold that spicy foods don't make your dick hard.
So he's like, let's add milk to it.
He's like, let's add milk to it. Wow. Exactly. And he goes, let's add milk. So he starts adding these milks and he brings it to his brother. He's like, yo, I eat this? No boners, dude. No boners ever. And he's like, look. This has nothing to do with this, but it tastes pretty good. We can sell this. So then his brother, who has what they said, much more business sense in the article. And I was like, yeah, I bet he did, dude, because this other guy's trying to sell food to people. He's like, what's the sale? Like, what's the big cool thing about this meal? It's like, you won't jerk off as much. And this guy's like, it just tastes good. Sold. Yeah. So that's how Kellogg's were made there. And, I was just wondering how much cereal you've been eating this week.
None. I haven't really had a bowl of cereal in a long time.
Wow. So you're kind of going at it, dude.
A lot of hot wings.
Yeah. I just thought that was really interesting that, that two very rich, one very well-known brand, two very rich people had probably they stumbled into a staple of a food group and literally did it so you weren't jerking it.
That is crazy.
That's wild,
Yeah, that's a good story.
They did it wrong. They weren't even right. Like he was like, yo, like Frank's hot sauce, if we just like eliminate this from society.
It was just like a conspiracy theory.
He literally got it wrong, made up a good food, sold it for a bad reason. And now we just eat cereal all the time like it's nothing, Like when you're trying to, it's just...
Speaking of being anti-Mast.
Anti-Masters.
Anti-Masters. I remember going to a Kanye concert when he released Life of Pablo.
Is he anti-Mast?
He's not anti-Mast. I don't think so.
I feel like he's
traditionally a horny man.
Yeah, he's riled up.
He's riled up all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we went at the American Airlines arena, there was like a group of people that were like, if you listen to Kanye West, you're going to hell.
You went to this specific one?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And he's like, if you listen to Kanye, you're going to hell. If you listen to rap music, you're going to hell.
Naturally, I wonder
if you
why.
Masturbate, you're going to hell. And just the whole list. He had it on like a big old sign, a list of all things you can't do or you're going to hell.
Dude, he's so lucky they told him.
Yeah.
Because like imagine if they never told him, he would have probably done all those things. I mean, it's crazy.
Nobody told me. That's why I was there.
That's why I'm still doing it. But
I already paid so much. I bought a $70 t-shirt.
Dude, you got to go to hell.
I got to go.
You should go to hell for $70. But why are band t-shirts so fucking crazy? Because I just bought a Mayday Parade concert, 10-year reunion concert t-shirt for like $6. You just got to give it a year. Just give it a year.
Yeah.
Well, it's been 1 year since Mayday Parade's been at the height of their game, But I don't know.
Because it's literally a Gildan t. Like I opened it up. It says Gildan. I know.
Yeah,
the brand. You're familiar?
Yeah. Do you want to know how they got into shirts?
Do you know?
yeah, they were.
Do you really know?
No. No, but they were anti-masters.
Okay.
No.
I was gonna say, what the hell?
I got a lot of stories today. Yeah,
that's a random one. It's not even Hanes or Fruit of the Loom. It's Gildan.
Yeah, dude. A bunch of anti-masters. They all work together. That's how I know about them. But they, no. When you went to those things, did you end up talking to those guys? I'm really fascinated in people who take the effort to do things like that, because even for things I care the most in my life about, I'll never go out of my way to make any effort to make them happen a reality.
No, dude.
In any regard,
they're lost.
They're literally with. So
you know who they need is Mr. Cool Guy to show them how to dress. They're lost.
Yeah, he's like, you look like a woman right now. Yeah, he's. I just think it's nuts because they woke up one day. They're like, what's on the docket? They're like, go to a Kanye West concert, have a good fun time yelling at people. Yeah. But they're like walking there and they're like, well, I feel kind of weird coming here empty-handed. So they stop by like a Home Depot. They buy a bunch of wood and shit.
Like a science fair board.
They say something crazy like Kanye West, devil worshiper, Jesus is king, and now they're just in front of you.
And they buy those cool
microphones.
No, it's not a megaphone. It's a microphone with one of those little speaker packs that's hanging on their waist.
Speaker box.
Yeah, speaker box.
Yeah.
So they're just talking. It's blasting out of their hips.
And they're like, Jesus.
And they're like, Jesus,
you're
going to hell because you're not Jesus.
I feel like I spoke to one of them once in college, and it's actually really fun because they were the people. I want to think that their heart's in the right place, but they have so many bad opinions that I just can't I just can't rationalize that any further because, you know, they really hate boys kissing. So you should kiss your best friend in front of them because like you just should. And so we did that, and this lady was mad. She was like, bah, bah. And she could have just did anything else with her day. But instead, she's a 70-year-old lady with a sun hat in UCF's Courtyard campus yelling about, don't be gay. It's like, who cares? Why are you're 70. Go plant a tree, go do something, man. Like I just don't see how this is your retirement.
And that's
hobby,
why
you know?
People should not retire.
Do you think, I wonder about this too. When the amount of senile people that go senile when they retire, like makes me not want to ever retire.
Yeah.
Like,
I think you always just need a job or something.
You're going to go
doing.
nuts, dude.
Job or a hobby.
Have you ever
hobby that is kept to yourself?
It's true. Cause I'll do 3 days inside alone with no contact, and I'll just want to light myself on fire. Like, absolutely. There's like 3 days of no accomplishment in any situation. I'm like, literally, what am I doing here, man? I should just die.
You should.
That's why I got on the wagon.
Yeah.
You know, you're off it 4 days in a row now.
4 days off the wagon.
4 days off the wagon, dude. Congrats.
Dude, that wagon's long gone.
Long gone, dude. He's off.
Yeah.
10 and a half days sober.
Yeah. So I saw a news article today.
Oh, well, is this did you read it?
I did read it.
Close one. We almost had a segment. We almost had a segment.
We almost had a segment.
Not on this show.
But I did read this one because mainly because the title of it was very self-explanatory. So I'm like, I know I'm not gonna get much more out of reading it, and I didn't. So
you shouldn't have read it.
Yeah, I shouldn't have read it. I learned my lesson. I'll never read again.
Yeah, I mean, why would you?
But it was basically some guy in Brazil, and it was on an Australian website. This news article.
You know, they pay attention.
Yeah, I guess so.
Why would they not want to listen to what's going on in Brazil?
I don't know. I just assume that like countries just stick to their own country. You know? That was a crazy laugh.
It was a very evil one. I was just thinking,
you just open your mouth really wide.
I was just thinking about how you and eugenics guy would probably get along with a statement like that.
Yeah. But anyway, the article was about some Brazilian guy that was fishing, and he was getting chased by bees
in the ocean.
Just by fishing, and then so he jumped into the water to escape the bees, and then he got eaten by piranhas.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Why?
So he's like, I don't want to get stung.
His whole life, dude, he literally
eaten by piranhas.
Every animal on the planet was like, fuck this guy, dude. There's nothing you can do. Eaten by piranhas seems like I feel like I could be fine. I know that's not true. I just think it'd be like, how you let a bunch of goldfish at you?
Yeah, I don't know, man. They're scary looking.
I did
guys.
Wrestling. I wore a bag. I've
had nuts dragged across my face. I can handle a couple fish.
A couple of these meat-eating fish. Yeah. They seem like something that's out of a movie too. Piranhas don't really feel like real animals. They're like they just seem like they're fish. And
they're like it's like you just picture them as the little fish that look all sweet, and then they just like open their mouth, and then it's like
and then there's that guy. That really sucks. That guy. He was just minding his business,
Yeah.
And that really made me laugh though, thinking about him like I'm gonna get out of this situation easy.
Yeah.
And he gets. How many piranhas do you think it would take? Because they eat fast as shit. You ever see them?
Yeah,
they'll drop a chicken and they're like.
It's kind of like a Tasmanian devil situation
where they're just
it's just like a
puff
cloud
of smoke and they're gone. Yeah,
shit, and you're just like bones all of a sudden.
Yeah, bones. Yeah,
bones.
Speaking of some delectable delights for you and your lover, go ahead and check out this quick recipe.
Door?
No. Play it again. I want to see the door.
Like when he walks into the door, look at the door.
Oh, dude, that door is...
It looks like one of those meals.
Yeah, dude, it's like he just cooked the door. It's so gross in there, man. It looks like something that like the Grinch would eat. Like, I don't know, man. Are those pickles or lemons? I've never seen yellow pickles like that, and I've never seen long.
Yeah, I don't know.
Long lemons like that. So I don't know.
They're too long to be lemons, too yellow to be pickles. I think they're like a squash.
Definitely, the worst part is milk over noodles. I mean, I know you could have like a grilled cheese or a mac and cheese type situation with ingredients like those, but I think he's got more of a mold situation.
Yeah, it looks like he just got some mildew in a bowl.
When do you think that like What do you think that smells like? Do you think you would be able to walk into that apartment and not vomit everywhere? I think immediately
I don't think so. I mean, by the looks of the door, it doesn't look very clean in there.
But that guy's cooking and living in this place.
I just didn't.
And it's not even just him. He's got 2 other bowls. So like he's with others.
As much as I want to criticize this meal, like I really don't even know what it consists of, to be honest. Like
it's
definitely just mush.
It's definitely
on noodles with some milk and a lemon's pickle.
That's some like hazmat food. You know, that's some shit where
that's like what's left in the fridge mold.
There's definitely like some kind of like atomic bomb went off and they're like, that's all they found, you know, they're surviving. Like that's some crazy bunker.
That's like the
man.
last meal before they turn to one of their friends. Like who are we eating first?
Yeah. Like exactly. Like they're in a zombie apocalypse. I don't know, man. That's super gross. I didn't like it. I feel like Rachel Ray has gone downhill.
Yeah. Would you eat me if you had to? Like we were in there was radiation around or something. Well, underground bunker, foods run out. Would you eat me?
I think in that situation, it's kind of like you get air fried, and I feel like anything air fried is pretty solid. You get some kind of like radiation that's, and now all of a sudden you're just a little big fried chicken. You know, I'm a little piranha. Nom, 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 nom.
That was a crazy answer.
Do you think you would eat me? I feel like I don't have much to offer. It's just kind of my plea on why you shouldn't eat me.
I don't think I'd eat you. I think so. I think you would. I eat you and then what? You know, like what's the point? Just die a week earlier.
I guess that's a good point, right? Like, okay, but what would you do first? Would you say, okay, I got an easy one for it. Let's start easy.
Yeah.
And then we'll work to something more difficult.
Okay.
So easy. Everyone in this room, me, you, and Angelo.
Yep.
We got to eat someone first. Who do we eat? Angelo, right? Pretty quickly. Next thing, now it's just us. We're like, okay, wow, we survived an extra week. Mm-hmm. We're hungry now, but we have too much respect for each other.
Yeah.
To want to eat, one of each other. So, do we start with like, look, if you cut your hand, I'll cut my foot. Do we do like a one-off-sies thing? Is it a compromise? Is it like a roll of the dice? What do you think would be a fun way? Let's do it that way. The most fun way to decide.
The most fun way to decide.
The most fun way.
Twister,
right? I was doing the same thing, dude. Like right head on red, and like if you fuck up whatever body part you fuck up, it gets got. Yeah, dude. That's
Were we both thinking Twister?
Yo, I literally was like,
that's why you asked me that question was
because I was trying to hopefully lead you into that. Yeah, that's
good job.
Nice, dude. Keep that one. I think definitely we were on the right path with doing this so far. I think it would be, sadly, probably a lot easier to eat someone in those type of situations than we'd like to admit. Mm-hmm. I think when you're in a life and death situation, like you ever not eat for like, you ever skip a lunch?
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what?
Tommy's rumbling.
You know what, man? Angelo's right next door to me, dude. I can see what he's up to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Definitely would rather eat any part of anyone's body other than one of the pickles.
I think it would just totally depend on like what do I think? What's the future looking like? Like, is this something that I just got to pull through? And like, there's hope on the other side, or is it like, what's the hope on the other side?
It's it's like a Will Smith in that zombie movie he was in type situation.
Yeah.
Where I'm Legend. Thank you, Angela. Sorry. Sorry for saying I D you. He was where you don't know if there's like hope and not hope. Every time you try to find something, you fail, but there's nothing really definitive that's saying you're not it, you know?
I think in I Am Legend, though, like the world's fucked, you know? Like,
dude, I think I would fucking, maybe not if I had like one, just me by myself but like if I had like 3 other people and it was just like the world, you got the world to yourself, like, that'd be fucking dope, dude.
But zombies too?
Well, why would I go to the city? What a fucking asshole. He could just go, why? Actually, I used to like that movie. As of this very moment, I fucking hate that movie. Ooh. Why didn't he just move into like the woods? He's living in New York City and he's like, there's all these zombies around me. Yeah, no shit.
You need to get yourself like a Courage the Cowardly Dog house, you know, just like
house, just what I'm saying, dude. Go to like Colorado and live in like the Smokies, or go to Yosemite or
maybe
some
there's
cool
more
park,
supplies in the city. Like if you go to your house, if you go to a house in the middle of nowhere, then like
I guess he is trying to be a scientist at the same time. He is like trying to cure everything. So I guess, you know what, maybe I was a little quick to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
But you could still move to
that happens to you sometimes.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Yeah.
You could still live in like Chichester.
Yeah.
And like commute.
Yeah, and just have like a grocery store down the road.
Right. Like he doesn't have to live in New York City, dude. Yeah.
By restaurants.
You just need a few people to catch every once in a while. Mm-hmm. Like that, like all those just to be that guy's probably still sitting on the box in front of the liquor store. He'd be easy to catch. Do a bunch of experiments on him. Actually, he was kind of a bigger guy.
Yeah,
a bunch of zombies. But I don't know, man. I still think that was a dumb decision. He doesn't have to live on like McDougal Street, you know.
Yeah,
he fucking could live anywhere else, man. But I always wondered if a zombie apocalypse happened. I feel like a boat's a pretty good option, and I've never really seen
because fish are probably still a thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, at least in all the TV shows, like a fucking Zombieland, all the animals are still good. There's deer.
Yeah.
In I Am Legend, dog is still around.
That's true.
In fucking what's the Walking Dead? They have. I
never watched The Walking Dead.
Season 1 and 2, man. Well, I don't even know if I want to go as far as saying season 2. Season 1 though was awesome. I watched season 1 of Walking Dead. Like I was like, "Yo, there's a baby in a fence. There's a baby in a cabinet or some shit." There was like a whole thing. They're trying to find this baby,
a real baby, like a good baby?
Like one of the persons in their group. They're trying to find their kid, and the whole time they're like, "Yo, kid." I was almost gonna be like, "I'm not gonna spoil it," but it's fucking. It's been out for like 30
I'll never
years.
watch it.
I was about to say, you're going to start The Walking Dead right now? That show has to still be going, right? There's no way.
I think they have I think they stopped it, and I think there might be like another, like a Fear the Walking Dead or
more Walking Dead.
More Walking Dead. Yeah.
You can't just let that animal die, can you?
No.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd do pretty well in a zombie apocalypse. I think mainly because I'd surround myself with friends like you guys and just make sure you guys died first.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd feel like you guys wouldn't have that same strategy.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, man. If you guys are turned into zombies, if you guys are doing heroin, if you guys are eating disgusting pickles, if you guys are getting balls wiped in front of your face, feel free to
let us know.
We want to hear all about it. You know, go to the socials. I'll give out Tyler's phone number and address. We'll put it at the bottom of the screen right here, and give us a woohoo, Tyler. Ready? Woo!